All right, David McKinney from standthemup.org here with Joey Hitman Holt fighting Julian Lane in the main event at Pinnacle Fighting Championships number 5 on November 27th. And if it seems like a long time since you've heard the name Joey Holt, then you're not mistaken. Joey, the first question I have for you is what made you return to mixed martial arts after almost 2 years off and amassing a 4-0 record in pro boxing?
Man, I always got the love for it. The reason why I initially left that is not because I followed fights and then I wanted to, catch myself in my boxing. So, I've been active the whole time, so it's not like I just took time off completely. Even with doing boxing, I was still at the gym, doing my grappling and stuff like that. So, man, I'm gonna try to keep going both now too.
Right, and I know in the past for MMA fights, you've kind of trained all over the place, and I know I've seen you've trained a little bit at Fight Club Pittsburgh for this one. Where else have you been training for this fight?
You know what, this time I trained primarily at my gym down at Houston for Impact Fight Team. So I've had a lot of guys come in from around the area, like Next Level martial arts is up in Niles, up in the Youngstown area. I had guys coming out from the Mad Dog Gym, and some pro boxers coming out, some good wrestlers. So I've had a real good camp that I just basically trained at the gym down here.
And I know you've said before in some interviews that Josh Stansbury is actually the guy who really got you into MMA after really only being kind of a boxer before. And actually, Josh has a few pro boxing fights too. Are you kind of the one that got him into pro boxing?
Yeah, kind of, man. I mean, we always train boxing and stuff like that, but we never did any amateur boxing. And then after I doing my pro boxing, he's like, man, you know what? That was kind of fun. So he jumped in that too. We kind of help each other out. And I know it would only help for him to maybe get in there. What hurt nothing. So we both just decided to do that.
Right, and is boxing something that you still want to go back to, or are you full-time back in MMA now, or are you going to do both? Do you have any idea what you're going to do?
I'm going to still kind of do both. Right now I've just been focusing on this fight. When I have a fight come up, I'm going to really get on the MMA or get on the boxing, but I'll still do both of them, obviously. But, yeah, I'm going to keep trying to push to get a world title on both of them, man. I'll see why not.
And before you turned to boxing, a lot of people in the area kind of had you tabbed as a guy who has the skill set to make it to a national organization, and you obviously already had the highlight reel knockout with the flying knee over Clint Musser from Bellator 51. Is making it to the UFC or Bellator as a full-time fighter still a goal for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's like I said, I have a day job right now. I go to school part-time right now in physical therapy just to do it, but like I said, my main goal is to be a world champ. I'd love to get to the UFC or Bellator, and I'd like to also pursue my career in boxing also to do that. There's always that, great that MMA fighters can't box, or boxers can't do MMA, so I'm going to try to go on both and be good at them both, be great at them both.
Let's talk a little about, real quickly, Pinnacle Fighting Championships. How did the opportunity come up to fight for them, and what made you want to fight for one of the newer organizations in the area?
Actually, that's one of the events up there a while ago. I watched Stephen Steve fight up there. He's a good friend of mine, and and I like the way they ran. I've been a good friend with Matt Layshock and them guys for a while. So I've always been in talks with him about wanting to get on there, and then watching his card coming up, and I just decided, like, well, you know what, I want to get back in there and we put together a fight, which it made sense. A big fight, he's flying, friendly, and so I just like, you know what, let's do it.
And let's talk a little bit about your opponent for the main event at Pinnacle Fighting Championships is Julian Lane, which is a name that I'm sure a lot of people know him from the Ultimate Fighter and the infamous "Let Me Bang Bro" line. What made you want to fight a guy like Julian?
To be honest, I'm willing to fight anybody, but Julian, I think it's a good big opponent for me to get back in after 2 years. You know what I'm saying? He really don't pose no big threats to me. You know, anybody, his skills, anybody can have. Anybody can go out there and go hard and just swing crazy and hope to land something. You know what I mean? So he's not real great at anything. So I mean, the opponent like Julian Lane is not a real big threat, and you know, I think I can anyone there.
And I know you've obviously, you know, fighting in Ohio and around this area, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Obviously, you fought a lot of wrestlers in the past before in mixed martial arts. Are you excited to be fighting a guy that you got to figure is going to be willing to just stand with you and trade, and a guy like Julian Lane?
Willing to stand and back.
Yeah.
yeah. We'll see how far that goes. I know he has a wrestling background, you know, so I'm sure he'll be trying to use that before too long, you know, because, like I said, he got no real technical skills standing up. I just don't see it. Like I said, anybody's dangerous. You know, I train super hard for it, but technical striking-wise, you don't stand a chance, you know, so, I mean, but anybody can get clipped, anybody can get hit, whether I stay tight, make sure I'm alright, but I'll guarantee each other to take something down. But I've been training a lot of jiu-jitsu too, so I'll be a problem there too.
And you guys both had extensive amateur careers in Ohio. I know you had 12 fights and he had 13 fights. Are you kind of surprised that you haven't crossed paths until now?
It is kind of weird here because in the same weight class, but we fought in different organizations. He fought a lot for the RFO. I fought a lot for the NLSS. I mean, I know he ended up coming over there at the pro. I don't know if he really did much as an amateur. But, yeah, it is kind of surprising, but he really wasn't that well known as an amateur, I guess you could say, back then. So, yeah, it is kind of surprising he never crossed paths before now.
And what's your prediction for the fight?
I think I'm going to knock him out. I'll knock him out the second round.
Okay, easy enough.
I'll knock him out.
Easy enough. What if it opens up in the first round? Are you just going to wait till the second round just so your prediction's right, or?
If I can get some money on it, I will. But if not, I'll take whatever opportunity arises at the time. You know, I'm out there putting some heat on it. So it could be done in the first, but it ain't going past the second.
And are you going to call out Mark Cherico after this fight?
Yeah, man, that dude. You know what? I want to go a straight wrestling match with that dude, man. You know what I mean? He always talks about double-legging me, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm going to have to call him out after this match, see what he wants to do. I'll head out to the ring right after this fight, you know, because I ain't going to be too beat up and I'm not fighting him, so I'll go out there and put on a show, wrestle Mark in front of everybody.
And I'll be the first one in line wanting to see that one. And
he knows what it is. Hey, the next time you talk to Mark, man, you can't lie to himself. He knows he can't get you down.
And I'll be sure to let him know that. But anybody else, anybody you'd like to thank, anything else you want to mention before the fight?
No, man, I just want to thank you guys for the interview and stuff, man. I'm not very shocked. Dave Click, all you guys out there at Pinnacle. You guys are just great. Any questions I have, you guys answer them. Love you, buddy. Impact Fight Team. Bill Hoosendick for helping me out to get it going. On that, my little brother Kyle Holt. He's an upper riser, 170 pounder. All the amateurs better be wearing him too. You know, my family, my wife, you know, and then the other sponsors, Team Mojo, all that stuff. You know, anybody else I'm forgetting, man, thank everybody.
All right, and that was.
Also, man, rest in peace, Garrett Feeney, man. I got to train him a few times. He's a great person, man. It's a tragedy.
All right, and there you have it, Joey Hitman Holt. Check him out in the main event at Pinnacle Fighting Championships #5 on November 27th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.